Yeah, can you see the screen?
Yes, I see it.
All right. So we're going to start by determining our filter, by determining the critical path. So right now I don't have any project. Okay, let me open the old project. I'll come.
If you can use this to demonstrate, no problem.
Okay, let me look for the one we used yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
Yeah. So now we have our project and you want to know the critical path. Yeah. So do you know critical path?
No.
Okay, what about critical activities?
Critical activities in just normal language is just like activity that requires a close attention, right?
Okay, now we're going to cover some small theory about it. Yeah. So during the execution of a project, you're going to have certain activities that are very, okay, like other activities are so dependent on them. Yeah. So you may find that in case you delay those activities, even if by just one day.
Just wait. Let me receive this call. Wait.
Okay.
Cooker. Kev, Samang? Kev, sana quest. Ay, gibel nama dadi namulo silu torak na bes fata al shari. Na fata shari be excavator grader. Ay, bukan bukura lagi quest. Ya. Okay, so okay. كنت مكان دايره بكره. Okay, kada na abu rajere sanna India sadaini suya. India sadela na suya kada na ino onu subena sta juba de kada mo namul gam lo mon bugul lana baga de rasul fi yomo yomin haja kida bunkwes. La kana baga de rodini nini alla da kana mijasi la.
Okay, so I was still saying critical activities, like within a project, you have a number of activities, right? Yeah, so you may find that some activities, they have to first be totally completed, or like a lot of activities depend on that particular activity.
Yes.
Meaning that in case you delay that activity, or you're going to delay the entire project, even if you delay that, even if you delay that activity by one day, it's going to affect the finish date of the entire project. Yeah, so that one is called a critical activity. Yeah, so a critical activity is a type of activity in which its delay will affect the duration of the entire project. So what does that mean? It means that in case you have a critical activity, you should first assign resources to those particular critical activities in order for you to avoid time overruns. Yeah. So now, those critical activities, remember they are very many. So you find that maybe you have 10 tasks, but now within the 10 tasks, you have like 6 tasks that are critical and others are not critical. Yeah, so a task being not critical, it means that you can delay it by certain days, and actually the finish date of the project will not be affected, even if you've delayed this activity. That is what it means. Yeah, so now that means it is non-critical activity. Yeah, so in project management, there is what they call, on every activity has a duration, it has the start date, it has the finish date. Yeah. So
Yes.
the difference between the the finish and the start, that is the duration.
Duration, yes.
Yeah. But now there is what they call a float. So what is a float? A float.
What?
A float, like F-L-O-T.
Float.
Yeah, a float.
F-L-O-T.
Yeah, F-L-O-T.
Okay.
Let me add its column here. We said if you want to add a column, you come to this, then you look for that particular column. Yeah, so this may be okay. Let me see if I can. Okay, they are grouped in different groups. Let me just check one by one. I'm not sure where it is totally located. Okay, this one.
And check in duration, total float, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So there's total float and free float and what, but I'm just going to explain to you float. Yeah, so I've added total float. Where is it? It is here. Let's push it here. Yeah, so we have the duration and the total float. Yeah, so what does a float mean? A float means, it means that those are the number of days. Are you hearing me very well? Yeah. A float is the number of days that you can delay an activity.
Yes.
And it doesn't delay the entire project. For example, if an activity has a duration of 10 days with a float of 3 days, it means that, fine, it has a duration of 10 days, but we can start it after 3 days, and with the duration of the entire project will not be affected. That's what they call a total float. Yeah. So in case you delay it past the total float, for example, it has a total float of 3 days, and for you take like 4 days. It means it's going to affect the entire project because you've gone beyond its total float. Yeah. So now you can see that here we have a project. It has also its total float. Then these also different levels have total floats, but we're interested in the total float for the exact activities. Yeah. So as we've said, that a critical activity is an activity that delaying it even if for 1 second will affect the duration of the entire project. So which total float do you expect to be for the critical activity to have? Like, what do you think is the total float of a critical activity? Pardon?
Total float of a critical float of a critical activity,
what, how many days do you think there should be there for an activity to call it critical? What do you think its total float should be? Remember, we say the total float.
But I think that one determines, doesn't it determine by the number of activity, the number of days which an activity is supposed to run?
Not really.
Is it how you can determine the total float?
Not really.
Yeah.
It's not determined like that. There are some activities which have very short days. Okay, it is done maybe in 2 to 3 days. And it has a very big total float.
Okay.
There are those ones that have 100 days and doesn't have any total float.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you brief this on me?
Can we do what?
I'm saying, can you just explain something on this a little bit?
Okay. So for an activity to be critical, it should have a total float of 0.
Yes.
Yeah. It should be 0. Why?
Yes.
Because it means that for it doesn't have you don't have to delay it for any day. That's why it is 0. Yeah, so its total float should be 0. Yeah, so now you can see that there's this one, it has 0.
So that one, a total float of 0 means it is a critical activity.
Yes, it means that it is a critical activity because it doesn't have room for delay. A total float is like a delay, the number of days you can delay it and you don't affect the entire project.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you see this budget.
So, but yes, I can see total float sometimes adjust by itself, right?
It adjusts by
automatic adjustment.
Yes, it is supposed to calculate automatically.
Depending on the links.
It depends,
depending on the links.
Yes, it depends on the predecessors and the way the activity, which other activities are depending on it here.
Okay.
Yes. So now you can see, you see this one, clearing and grabbing, it has 1 day, but you see its total float, 47. Yeah, this one has 5 days, its total float is 20. This one has 1 day, it is a critical activity. You see that it doesn't depend on duration, it just depends on the way the activities are being linked to each other. Yeah. So now what they call a critical path is that we shall be having now the activities with 0, 0, 0, then it will link through those ones that have 0 total float. Is it clear now?
But okay. Yeah, it's clear.
You can ask that question.
Now, what I was saying, you see, like preliminaries here is showing a total float. So the total float in preliminaries determines the total float within the activities under preliminaries, right?
Okay, it is the calculation is done bottom up, not top bottom. What I mean is, it is getting from budget.
Yeah.
Then it adds up. It gets 20 plus 0 plus 0 and it gets 20. It's not that it is having 20 and it redistributes. No, it gets from the activities.
Okay.
Yeah. So this 20 is from the budget.
Okay.
That's why the whole level has 20.
Like this one is clearing and grabbing is about total float of 47. But I can see in the substructure the overall is 19.
Yes.
What happens in this?
It is because of the dates. It's because of the way we did the schedule. Yeah. It's not that it just adds up. It also depends on the dates, unless it is linear.
On the dates, yes. On the dates, yeah.
Yeah, unless it is linear, like this one depends on the other one, another one like that. But now if it's not linear, then it also has to do certain calculations within. Yeah, so now how do you get total, how do you get the critical path? You click here, you see this sign, this that looks like a funnel.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a filter.
Yes.
Click on it, then you come and look for what you want to filter out. Yeah, so you want to filter out critical activity. Select it. Yeah, say apply, then click OK. Yeah, so now you look here, total float. It is all showing 0, 0, 0, 0. So it has brought the activities with 0 total float. But an activity can be a critical activity, but when it is not in the critical path. Okay, that one is a bit hard to understand unless like we to go into PMP, because what it means is that I can have 2 critical activities, but when they are running concurrently. Yeah, when they are running concurrently. But you find that a critical path, so it may be a critical activity, but when it is not on the critical path. But what a critical path shows you, why it is very, very important, is since that those activities cannot be delayed, it actually spans through from the start to the end of the entire project. So what does it mean? It means that is the shortest duration you can finish your project. That's what it means. That is the shortest, because in case you delay by one, it's going to delay the entire project. In case you get any of those activities and you delay them by just even if hours or like one day, it's going to affect, you're going to receive time overruns. So now that means the critical path is the shortest duration that your activity can have, that your project can never have. Yeah. So you can see that now we only have critical activities, and this is our critical path. Yeah. So what it means is that whenever you're planning for mobilization, maybe to buy material, to buy what, assigning resources, you should assign resources to the critical path first, or you should plan beyond, like you plan before, so that you don't get time overruns. For example, if this activity is going to happen maybe like here 4th June, you plan for it earlier on so that you get to know which resources will I need. Will I need a grader? Will I need a what? Will I need another technical personnel? So you hire them in time, in that you don't delay. Yeah, so that is very, very, very critical. Yeah, so that is a critical activity. So now how do you go back to showing all the activities? Click here, then check all activities. Press apply, select OK. Yeah, you've seen. Yeah, so we can go back to our filter, just that we have a very few activities. But here, we'll be able to select a lot of things. Okay, to filter out different things. Yeah, now like milestone. You name milestone?
Yes.
Yeah. So why it has brought this is because we don't have any milestone. And okay, let's add that to our, let's add it to our work plan because it is very critical. Yeah. Milestone. How do you add a milestone into the activity? I thought we had covered it yesterday, maybe missed it. Yeah, so you come, we want to add an activity. It is added as an activity, but a milestone has 0 days. It has 0 days. Why? It just marks something. For example, beginning of the project or end of the project. That is the milestone, or it can be project handover. Yeah, so it does not take any duration. It just marks a certain event.
Now, hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
That was a problem with the network. You are talking, I was not getting you. Can you go over milestone again?
Okay, I was saying a milestone has 0 duration.
Yes.
Why? Because it just marks an event. It is not supposed, it doesn't consume any resources.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can't give it time resources. You can't assign money to it. It just shows that maybe project completed, or like we are done with this, so this level has been reached. So it is just a milestone. You don't assign resources to it. That's why it has 0 duration. Yeah, but it is added the way you add an activity. So let's add a milestone for project completion after the superstructure. So I'm going to click on the superstructure level, click add. Okay, don't know why it puts it here, but let's type and see whether we shall push it back. Yeah, when you press enter, it goes down. So it is completion of project. Yeah, so you see it already has 5 days, but give it 0 days. So it should have a date. Fine, it doesn't consume time, but it should have a date. Why? That one just marks that on that date we'll reach that milestone. But it's not that it's going to consume any time. No, it's just that date we're going to reach that particular milestone. Yeah. So now how do you make it a milestone? You've added 0 days, but there's some extra step you're supposed to do. So you come under general.
Yes.
Then you check under activity type. Then there is finish milestone. And the milestone has that diamond symbol. Yeah, this one has been, it is there, just that there is this, you see that? I just wanted to show you, but it has moved it back. Okay, let me do it again, 0. Like that, you can pull it back to this. Okay.
But we can also have the beginning milestone, right?
Yeah, you can have a beginning milestone. It can be like with start of the activity. Though this one was having, let's add, remember it was having some issues. Start of the project. Yeah, so if this is the start of the project, that's 0 days, but the project is going to start on 3rd May. So we come, select it.
On the 3rd May.
And we give it.
Then you change it to milestone.
To start milestone. Yeah, so it will change the symbol here. Yeah, so you see that the first feasibility study is starting on 3rd May. This one is also there. So it is just a milestone, and a milestone doesn't have now like a start milestone. It will not have a finish date because it is just a start milestone. It will just show start. Then a finish milestone will only show the finish date. Yeah, so those are the milestones that we have. That's how you add it. So now we are still on filter, that you can come to filter.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Okay, first let's finish filter, then I ask.
Okay.
Let's first finish the filter session, then I.
Yeah, you can come to filter, then you say, I want to look at milestones. Click apply. Okay. Then you're able to see the start milestone and the finish milestone. Those two.
The finish milestone,
yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. So that's about filters. We've seen there are very many, but we can't go through all of them. Most of them are self-explanatory, and we shall continue trying them out. Yeah. So what was the question?
Yes. So you see, yesterday I found this a bit difficult because you have preliminaries and activities at start of the project, feasibility studies, design, budget, approval of designs. So the issue is like if you want to, like they're already here, but you want to add an activity, and the activity should be maybe after one from here. But you see these IDs, it will arrange, it's going to arrange according to IDs, or it will arrange according to the one you put after the other one. Let's say we want to put an activity after feasibility studies.
Okay, you see the ID is something that just uniquely identifies, but as long as it is unique, it shouldn't mean, it doesn't mean a lot. Okay, like it can be even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 5 can come before.
Can it be sorted using IDs according to like the order ascending or descending order?
Okay, the ID, like according to database, it is an auto number so that you don't repeat it. So in case you even delete an activity, that ID will not be used again. So you see that the one I've added last is receiving the ID of like A1140, which is even which is maybe closer to these ones that have A11, you see. Yeah, A11, 30. Because all these ones are A10, 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 A10. So it depends
but
on.
You cannot edit. We can we edit? Can we edit IDs?
You can edit IDs.
Activity IDs.
Yeah, you can edit, but the problem is you may end up inputting a number that has already been used. Here I can put like 2.
Okay.
Yeah, there it will accept. But now just imagine that photo has been already used. Now I come here, I also try to force like photo.
No, I know it will reject. It will reject. It will reject, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will reject. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, but it is about at what point in time are you inserting that activity? Even if you're inserting it on level 1, but you've inserted it after inputting 30 activities to have 31. Yeah, but the ID shouldn't worry you. It's just a unique way of identifying an activity. It doesn't mean anything. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there any other question?
No, it's okay.
All right. So now we're going to look at expenses, how you can add expenses. Yeah. So by expenses, what I mean is there are some expenses that you're going to incur in order for you to accomplish an activity. It may not be like a particular material or a resource, but it can be like transport costs, office work, all those different expenses that we incur. Yeah, so they are the ones that we're going to look at.
Yes.
Yeah, so in order for you to add expenses, it should be displaying under the details window. Yeah, don't forget this one of this is where you turn it on and off.
Yes.
Yeah, so you see under here, when you right click, these are the things that are being showed on our detail window.
Yes.
Yeah, but in case we want to add more things, you click on customize. You see that? Yeah. Or you can just come here to this here, right click, go to customize activity details, then you will receive this.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are the ones that are active. There, if you look, general, status, resources, predecessor, and successor. So we can add expenses and click that. Then you can even push it, either like you push it up or you pull it down.
Or down like that.
Yeah. Then click apply, place OK. So we have the expenses tab already. Yeah. So getting the expenses tab, we click on it. Then after clicking on it, you press add. Yeah. Then we start adding the different expenses, maybe transport costs.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the expense, it can have like a category. In this case, they have inbuilt categories. Yeah, so in this case, it will be falling under travel. Click select. Yeah. Then accrue type. Okay, you know what accrue means? Okay, with this, what they mean is that expense, is it going to be a lot of expenses at the start, then it goes on decreasing? Is it going to be like it's going to start when it is a small expense, but at the end it increases? That is the difference between end of activity. If it is going to accrue at the end of activity, it means that as the activity is coming to an end, that is where we're going to spend more on transport costs. So it is skewed to that side. If it has accrual type as start of activity, it means that as the activity is starting, that's where it is going to concentrate more. The transport costs are going to be a lot. Yeah, so by default, it comes with uniform. It means that it is uniformly distributed all over the activity. And in most of the cases, you should leave it to uniform unless otherwise.
I think uniform, yeah.
Pardon?
I'm saying uniform is right. In most cases, expense, transport is throughout most of the time.
Yeah. So that one. Then another thing we need to adjust is the price per unit.
Let's say we have an expense. Hello?
Yes.
We have an expense. We are taking a excavator to the site using a low bed. That comes under expenses.
You're taking the
right?
What?
Transportation cost. The excavator, you cannot use the road. We have to use the low bed to take it. It comes under transportation cost? Or?
Yeah, it can be under that. Because it is an expense. It is not a material, it's not labor, it's like an overhead cost. Yeah, like if
but
someone...
I think it is yeah.
Like if someone comes and they look at maybe the road, there is no way they are going to see that. Maybe due to the transportation of the grader, this is why the road is maybe big or of this color. Like you can't see where it was used, but you incurred an expense. You were charged for you spent some money. Yeah. Then another field that is good.
Imagine, okay. Let's look at this. Will this expense? I think she will fall under uniform because, like, if you bring a excavator from the beginning, it will only also go back at the end with the same amount. You transported it from the beginning of the project, same amount, and you will take it back with the same amount. So where do you grade that on? Uniform, because it will not be also throughout the project. It will be in the middle and at the end. So how do you call this?
That one, I think it will fall under uniform because we can't say start, we can't say end, and you have to choose one. So uniform is better. Yeah.
Uniform, okay.
Yes, then here we can now enter the price per unit. Yeah, or you can enter the money like per unit, or you can just enter the budget cost, the budgeted cost, like how much is it going to cost you, just the overall. Yeah. So for these ones, they can be entered, or you can just enter one because this is budgeted cost, then actual cost, then remaining cost. But you may find that you only record in either the actual cost or the budgeted cost. Yeah. But in case you find that in your scenario, you need all the three, you can put that we had planned to spend $100, but we actually spent 700 and we've already paid 400. So the remaining is 300. Yeah. Then the vendor...
in the software, what will happen? The vendor, no problem. I mean, here, the budgeted cost, you put price per unit, you give it, it will give immediately the budgeted cost. It will automatically calculate by itself, right?
If you get this one, unless you've put the units. Yeah, if you put the units like
let's say budgeted unit. That's right, 2 as an example. Right here, budgeted unit 2.
Yeah, if you can put 10, then here if you put like maybe 100, these ones are supposed to calculate automatically. So it will bring the budgeted cost as same as the remaining cost, showing that
the remaining cost. Okay. So I was asking, this actual cost, you will enter it manually by yourself, right?
Yes. So when you enter, it will deduct from the remaining cost. For example, if I've that is 1,000. If I say the actual cost is 900, then it will show you the remaining cost as 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
The remaining cost will be 900.
It will be 100. It will just do the calculation.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, then you put the vendor, maybe MK hardware. Oh, this is trouble. Yeah, that is it. Then
now let's say you are buying materials for building, cement, steel wires, those kind of materials. Are they under expenses?
No, those ones are
or
not
they are
under
under materials. Is there a way you?
Those are under materials.
Those are resources.
Yeah.
Resources under materials. Okay.
Yes, okay. Those are resources.
Okay. So these expenses, let's say I am having, like, I want to construct a building, like now I am clearing a site, and in the site I don't have any room, it is just a forest, and I want to make an emergency room. That emergency room falls under what? Under material or expenses?
That is those are expenses. They are overhead costs. It's kind of like the way you can construct site offices. They are expenses. They are overhead costs here. They are like site offices. Isn't it what you mean? Something like a site office?
This is what I mean. The project is to build maybe some storage building, but because that building is delaying, we have to put some small buildings first for the staff like that, but later they will be removed.
Yeah, that is an expense. It is not part of the project. Like, it is not a material. It's not why it's an expense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we can try to add another one, and we check a different category. Okay, let me say, okay, site offices.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see this list?
That one is under administration, right?
Yeah, this one will fall under administration. But in case, let me see, it may be facilities. Either facilities or administration, but it will be facilities. Yeah.
No, I think administration can go like papers, printing, those kind of things.
Yes. And so this can be facilities. Then you also change other fields accordingly.
But this one will be the start of the project.
The site offices.
This is the start.
The site offices.
Yes, this is the start.
Yeah, but you can put it for the Accrue Type. You can give it to be the start of the. You can give it to be the start. Okay. Hello?
Yes, hello. The network disturbs.
Okay. Okay, sorry about that. But what I wanted to remind you of is and actually these expenses, they are added to each activity. It's not overall project. Like when I click project and I come to expenses, it is not active. You can't add. Even if you go to preliminaries, you can't add. It is just for that particular activity. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just trying to show.
That's true. That's true.
So if you select
put
like
expenses
designs, they are for
designs, then maybe during designs, like during designs, we have to transport somebody to do something somewhere like that. You have to buy certain pens, clip. Okay.
Then you add that one. It is for activity. That's why here it is having accrue type,
Yeah.
either end of activity, start, not the entire project. Yeah, remember a project, we said
design.
We said on a project level, we don't assign resources. So there's nothing we can assign to a project. We just assign to activities. Hope that one is clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this section.
Yeah, so now we can move on to calendars. Yeah, so also it is possible to delete. You can select that, delete it. Like these ones we've added. Can select and delete, remove them because they were just for sampling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now so we've so far covered the 3 critical paths. Then we also looked at milestones. Then we've looked at expenses. So now we can head over to the calendars. Yeah. So we go to calendars. Calendars are very wide, but we're going to look at, like the simpler version. But you will see that you can customize calendars according to your own requirements. Yeah. So in order for us to set calendars, we come to enterprise, then go to calendars. Yeah. So by default.
Wait, I'm writing something.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So by default, there are some inbuilt-in calendar names. They have some random, like there's 5 by 10, 6 by 24, 7 by what. But for us, we shall.
Yeah, that's
this one of standard full time. Yeah. So
okay.
That is under global calendar. We have different calendars. There's global, there is resource, then there is project.
Resource, okay.
Yeah. So what it means, if I say
why is it that project has no activity?
There is no calendar which is assigned to it. When I say it is global, it means that it is the calendar that we're following, like in an entire organization, like our EPS is following that calendar.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you say it is resource, yeah. So when you say it is resource, it means that calendar is going to apply to particular resources. Yeah. Don't you see? This is where we have the group of resources, like information technology group, what. Yeah. Then project. This will be up like it's kind of calendar that you can assign to just a particular project, but not the entire EPS. But we can just go with the global. It is okay. We can set just one calendar unless otherwise. Because you can find that in your EPS, you have civil engineering projects, then you have mechanical projects, and they are following kind of slightly different calendars. So you may decide to create different calendars for a particular maybe project. Yeah.
Different ones.
Yes. So you can even add it totally.
Why is for project not? Why are we not seeing calendars for project? Or is it because it is not used?
You can just add a new one. Like there are no default calendars for project, but you can add a new one.
Okay. When you add, will it automatically? Or you add, you bring it from where? From this one also?
When you click on add, it will list from this because these ones are like inbuilt.
Oh, then you.
Yeah. Then you click this and just select. Yeah. So.
Okay. So meaning we can still the corporate standard one, we can still use it in a particular project.
Yeah, it is the one that is being used in what I said. It is global because it applies to any project that we create. It is the calendar that is being used in our EPS.
Okay. Okay.
So now the thing, what we're going to look at is it is the one ticked, so it is the one which is default or the one which is active. Yeah, so we're going to look at modification. Yes. How do you modify the calendar?
The calendar?
For example, there are some days which are like they are called what, public holidays, and you want to show that they are now non-working days. Yeah. Yeah. This is now our calendar, and these are the working days. You can see according to the yeah. So they are working days. Then the ones which are scheduled, these are exceptional, which it means there are no non-working days. We don't work on those days.
Non-working days.
Yes.
Okay.
Then,
okay, question. What about, so when you work on Saturday, how will you treat that? In some occasion, you will end up working on Saturday when in fact it's a public, or you don't, your organization usually do not work on Saturday, but there can be an emergency that you need you to work over the weekend. How do you account for this?
You just come here to work weeks. You see work week. This.
Yes.
Now you can see that every day is having standard work hours. So these ones have 8. So if on Saturday maybe you work a half day,
hours, yes.
You put 4. So you see now it will be, it will show you. But when you click on like the time periods, here it will be asking you to specify the number of work hours for each time period. Yeah, so for hours per day, hours per week, this is for just time periods. Then months, work week shows you a particular day and how many hours are you working for that day. Yeah. And then we're going to look at the detailed work, like work hours per day. And that's where you can decide that on Saturday, we're going to work maybe from 9 to this. Yeah. So now we can go back. We put this one back to 0. Select OK. Yeah. So
you can, okay, wait. You can set this manually based on your daily work, right? You cannot put it automatic.
You do what?
Because what I mean is, I work from Monday to Friday. When the project is running for 2 months. In the middle there, at random, there are days that I will have to be working over the weekend. So meaning I have to set it manually. That weekend which I work, I have to set it manually, right?
The weekend you work, yeah, you have to set it manually.
Yes. Manually, okay.
Yeah, you have to select it that.
But that one meaning I have to select the activity, right?
You want for a particular activity?
Yeah, okay. Because I'm working a project for 3 months. And then like today, I am grading the road maybe, or I am excavation. It is excavation work. And excavation work is 3 days. I ended up working 2 days over the weekend. Excavation. And one day, okay, in a week, at the same week of the excavation, one day on Friday, then I end up working on Saturday and Sunday. Moreover, Saturday and Sunday are not my official working hours.
Yeah.
And the job is excavation.
For that one, what you can do, you can create a new calendar.
Yes.
Then you assign it to only that activity. So that calendar is does not look like the global calendar. Yeah. You just create a new calendar, then you assign it. We're going to see it. Let's first finish this. Yeah. So now, for example, in case this, maybe this is a public holiday, like 3rd.
Yes.
It's a public holiday, but remember, it would have been a working day, right? It would have been a working day normally. It would have been a working day.
Working day, yes.
In case you want to make it a public holiday, select it, then click non-work.
You can select another one also. You can select more, right?
Yeah, you can select more. Like you can use, I think it uses shift. Let me see. It may be using control. Yeah, it uses control.
So this means we can do the same here. Maybe we are working on the 1st and the 8th of Saturday. We can just click on what on the 1st, and then we put work, right?
You can just click on
work.
1st.
We can click on the 1st
and make it work.
Then click work. Okay, now I get you. So it's simple now. So what we were talking before is just done from here.
Okay. Yeah, but just the problem with that, the one you're talking about, it is a bit different. Why? This is modifying the global calendar. Okay, unless you've identified that date, I will only have that activity. Because you may be having some other activities, and now when you make it that it is a working day, and the other ones are having like maybe 3 days, and the second day was on Friday, it may also assume that on Saturday you can work on it.
No.
Have you got
it? I think it's like
hello?
Saturday and Sunday, assuming next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I will not be Sunday no working. But this coming weekend, like for instance on Saturday, I will be working. I will just have to check Saturday and Sunday, make them work. Immediately it will come, right? So whatever activity I do in that day will be calculated. Can it work the same in the global?
It works, but just that I wanted to show
it works.
That you have to begin that you may be having 2 to 3 activities that are sharing that date. Like there are some activities that are going through that over the weekend, but you just want to work on just one. So if you put the all of it as a working day, it will also assume that you worked on the other ones. Yeah. So now let's look on another thing. It is this is a total work like hours per day, but there is detailed work. You see this detailed work hours per day. If you select a day, it will show you in the bits of 30 minutes. There are minutes. Yeah, so those are hours 1, 2, because it is 30. Yeah, so since I've selected Saturday, they are all showing non-work. So let me select like a working day.
Non-work.
This the third Monday, the Monday. So you see, like at night, there is no work. What then the 8 hours are here? This is 8 a.m. See, it reads from here 1:30 to 2, then 2 to 2:30, like it is 30 minutes. Are you getting that? Because these are hours.
I get
you. Yeah, so this is 8 a.m. to 8:30, then 8:30 to 9 to 9:30, 9:30. Yeah, so these are the working days. So in case you want to adjust that and you say for this, okay, maybe for Saturday, on 8th Saturday, we are going to work from 9. That is work time, and you add another and call it work time. You see the way they are changing.
Work time.
Yeah, work, and maybe you've added 3 hours on that one. I press okay.
Some organizations like ours on Saturday we work half day.
Yeah.
So we can put all Saturdays from 8 to 1 or 8 to 12.
Or 9 to maybe 1.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it works. In case you want to put it back,
but now
select.
And say non-work.
Yeah, you select all of it. Set is non-work, so it will go back to non-work.
Yes, non-work.
Oh, I changed the wrong day. Anyway, it is fine. I'm just going to cancel. I was modifying Monday. I was supposed to modify this.
Then
it will go back to non-work.
Like that is fine.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. So now, let's say I am hiring equipment. I'm hiring this equipment and I'm paying them per hour. The maximum hours an equipment is supposed to work in a day is 8 hours. But the equipment has happened to work only 5 hours or 4 hours in a day. In that particular day. So I said, I will just come home and set it manually, right? In that same day.
For the calendar. Are you talking about the calendar? Are you talking about the calendar?
Yes, calendar. Yes.
Okay, now like for that, it is not, okay, it's a bit complex. Do you know why? Because it is not working may not be only about equipment. Because now you also have labor, you also have what, so you may find that maybe the machine has stopped, but now your labor is still on the way going back to office or what, and all that time is kind of like counted as they are still on work. They are moving from one point to another. So if, let me say, labor is moving, if you're working on a road and they are moving from maybe there are bridges that are 100 kilometers away. So you cannot say when they are still on the way, I can call it non-working time. No, it is working time because they are moving to go to the work. It is part of the work. So the equipment may not take all the 8 hours, but there may be some other activities that are counted to have taken like the entire day. Yeah. So sometimes it is they say 8 hours, even if you as maybe an engineer, they will say you work 8 hours, but do you work the 8 hours throughout?
Yes.
You don't work all the 8 hours throughout. Sometimes you may be just reviewing documents. Other time you can even be like answering calls, you sending emails, but in one way or another, they contribute to work. So not in order not to make things complicated, you leave it to be the full day because it has served the purpose.
No, there is a situation. You get me? There is a situation. That's why I'm giving an example of hiring equipment. Labor, like I have laborers at the site, they can work 2 hours, 3 hours, and they have fun. They do their own things, no problem on this. So long as in the morning, they come, they sign, in the evening, they sign, that is it. In the middle, I don't care what happened. But the issue is mostly on hiring equipment. But this equipment, you made an agreement that per day, I will be paying an equipment $1,000 per day. And in a day, there are 8 hours. Right? But this $1,000, I will be paying, it is in a day 8 hours, but I will be paying hourly.
Oh, okay.
The payment will be based on hours, hourly payment. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not just like an equipment comes in the morning and it works for 3 hours and then maybe it breaks down. I have this kind of situation, like when an equipment breaks down, it is the responsibility of the owner of that equipment. The equipment works for 2 hours, it breaks down, or fuel cuts off. I will only count 2 hours. The rest of the hours, I don't count. This is the situation I'm asking you.
Oh, okay. For that case, it will be that cost is supposed to be, okay, that cost is supposed to go to like resources. Yeah, because it's what we're going to cover in the next session, tomorrow's session. Yes. Like when you have resources, the way you have a grader, you're going to assign how much does it cost you per hour.
Yes.
Then now when you go to an activity and you assign that particular resource, So if the activity has like 10 days, then it will calculate the number of hours and redistributes it all over. Then there's what they call usage, the resource usage.
Yes.
So you can go, but I wouldn't want to touch it that, but they are around here, activity usage and like resource usage, this. So for resource usage, you can go and adjust.
Okay, you leave it.
Yeah, and you try to show that the resource was used by this much, by like that. Yeah.
Okay, let's go slowly. I will reserve some of this. I will reserve them.
Yes.
We'll go slowly. Yeah.
It will be covered in the next session.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you have any question on?
Now we are in modification of calendar. Is finished?
Yeah, let me go back. Yeah.
Yeah, this is where we are.
We've said work week. It will detail how many hours per that particular day.
Yeah, that one is fine.
Then the time periods, this one, you can put how many hours per day, how many hours per week, how many hours per month, like that. Yes. Then we said you can make an activity like this one has been work, or like a work day, you just click on non-work, then it will change. Or when you come here to detail the work hours per day, you can see the times in which you will be not working and the ones which you're going to be working. In case you want to change, like I put this, okay, when I put this, it will load another one. If I want to make particular hours to be work, click there, make them working hours. Yeah, like that. Then I can press OK. Yeah, then there I press close. Yeah, on okay, like if you want to assign like this calendar to particular resources, not to all of them, that's when you can come to use Dubai, then it will give you this warning, but it means that it's going to load, like it's going to bring either you say use Dubai and you select a particular project, or you can say, I want it to be used by a particular resource. So you select a resource and it's going to bring for you all the resources. Yeah, that's why I told you that you can create your own calendar. Like you can create your own calendar. Yes. Then when you create that calendar, you modify it to have particular times. Then you go to use Dubai, you go to resources, and you assign that particular resource that is using that calendar.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the global calendar will not interfere.
Will not do what? In case you have
will the global calendar not interfere?
In case you have two conflicting calendars, the one which is global and another one for a particular activity, the one on the activity or resource will take the precedence.
Yes.
Yeah, it will override the global one.
Okay, we go to global, corporate standard time, then we say used by. Yeah,
used by.
Just click used by.
Yeah, so the first time it will warn you. But now since I'd selected the it is not warning me. So here I'm having a list of projects. Or I can go to resources and I select.
Just select one. Select by resources. Select one resource that we see.
I select all of them.
No, just maybe 2 or 3 resources. Are you supposed to select all?
No, okay, it depends on
resources. There can be view. Yeah, there can be 2 resources here that are using different calendar from the rest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then try to add. Add.
It doesn't have like the provision for add. You just select. But another way we can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see here.
Yes.
If we come to, okay, that activity, let me see under customize whether we have something to do with calendar. No, it is not there.
It's not there.
Yeah, let me first look into resources, whether it has calendar. Okay, this is freezing a bit.
No, they have the default time.
It has no. You can only do it from the other side. Yeah. Yeah, it is actually here.
Yeah.
It is here under details. You can come to a particular calendar, to a particular resource, like mechanical.
Yeah.
Come on detail. Then you select where it falls, whether it is a labor, non-labor, whether it is a material. Then also you select now which calendar does it use. In case it is not, in case you're not satisfied with any of them, you can create a personal calendar. Yeah, so this is a better way of doing it. The other one I was telling you about. You just come here, create personal calendar, just that it has now already created it and called it here. So you go and modify it accordingly. Let me get just another one this. Then now I come and select the hours. Yeah, so I think this can serve you, the one for the equipment. In case you have a particular equipment, you come select that it is either non-labor or it's labor. Because do you know equipment can be like labor, because it depends, it can be replacing people. Instead of you using a lot of people, you're just using an equipment. So it is doing a particular work for you. Yeah, so they can be categorized under labor. Then you come create, and then you modify accordingly. Yeah, in case you want it to use like this, select it, click on select, it will be the one to be selected here. Yeah, but we shall cover resources. We shall get a day and we cover resources again, like from scratch, how you create them and how you assign different things onto them. Yeah, so now maybe another thing I would request, if it will be okay with you, since it is these are like online sessions, if it is possible, if we are able to cover the way we've covered today, and we move on a good pace, if you could make them to be from 7:30 to 9, will that be okay, in case we try to cover things, but not just perusing through, but ensuring that you understand? Hello? Hello?
No, the thing is, I'm not getting you. Can you repeat? The network was bad. Can you repeat it? I was not getting you.
I'm saying, since the sessions are there at night, and since the sessions are there at night, yeah, so if we can cover, like we can move on a good pace, and we start on 7:30, then they end by 9 instead of 9:30. Will that be okay with you? As long as we've covered what we need and have answered your questions, because since they are at night, here when it gets to so late in the night, they kind of become hard to conduct. But we shall be covering everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have any questions?
I don't get you. I don't get you now. Are you getting me?
I'm getting, I'm
Okay, can you
hearing.
repeat again?
I repeat again. Okay, what I'm saying. What I'm saying. Are you hearing now?
Hello?
I'm saying. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, can you repeat? Can you repeat? I have not. Yes.
Okay, I'm saying the online sessions, they may not.
Can you call me using WhatsApp?
WhatsApp can be lagging. Maybe like I can send you a message.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't have any question, you will try to practice these ones we've covered today. Then where you find issues, they are the same issues that we start on. We start with tomorrow. Then we cover the next thing.